Hey, man, shut up. The intro going, man. Hey, how you doing? I hope it's good. I'm upset. Let me tell you why. I recorded a whole hour-long BeamNG video. It wouldn't have been like an hour long, but it would have been like an hour's worth of video, right? No car audio, no snap, no crackles, no pops, no nothing. And I drove an Audi TT. And I gotta go to work in an hour and a half, not even, in like 45 minutes, really. I don't know why I said an hour and a half. So, Audible. I'm bitter. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I genuinely do. And I hope you enjoyed this video as well. Atozy, this TikTok prank just ended his life. Like he going to prison, somebody going to prison. Is justice served to getting served? Let's find out. I like the video. Do unto others as you want others to do you. Please. Let's get to it.
This TikToker just lost his life during a TikTok prank. And it's all from an old trend that everyone did growing up that has been slightly altered for TikTok in a more reckless way. So what happened? Well, this man shot an 18-year-old over a ding-dong ditch video. I get it. He lost it and can't get it back. Like, not in this body. Okay, I get you. I got it. I was thinking like he's in prison for like 20 years or something, and now he's old and his youth is gone and something. I'm gonna just say this now. May he rest in peace. I hope his soul carries on to the next destination with ease. And I'm gonna roast him. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm just telling y'all now, it's going to happen. If something happens and I can call somebody Riri, I'm gonna do that. So, but may he rest in peace. Moment of silence. Okay. Video, and it's way more than just another viral trend going wrong. This is one of those times that I'm having to report on something that's already gone too far and can't be taken back. So, fair warning. This isn't the most fun video.
Tonight, an arrest for murder in Virginia after teens tell authorities an age-old childhood prank, the ding-dong ditch, turned deadly. A high school senior shot to death while doing the stunt, his friends say, for a TikTok video. Now the homeowner, Tyler Chase Butler, arrested and accused of second-degree murder.
So that could be 2 lives gone, because if he got shot in the back, that's 2 lives gone. Off top. Like that's
Savannah County, Virginia. A group of high schoolers are out filming a prank for TikTok, the kind your parents probably called harmless mischief, and the internet calls, I guess, a ding-dong ditch prank. And we all know how this prank goes. It's older than the internet. You knock on someone's door, run off, and the trend part involves, I guess, getting the footage and posting it for clout. What could go wrong, right? Well, apparently everything. Everything went wrong. 18-year-old Michael Bosworth Jr., a high school senior, had no idea this would be the last video he'd ever film.
Yeah, we just waiting to get shot. Okay. Yeah.
You called it?
What?
Is it somebody else?
Anything for the content.
So he was out with 2 friends at 3 in the morning. They hit a few houses in the neighborhood. Then they reached this home of a 27-year-old Tyler Chase Butler. Butler didn't just call the cops. He opened fire. According to the police, Bosworth was shot in the torso and later passed away in Washington Hospital. 1 friend was grazed by a bullet, and the last one got away. Butler was arrested days later and charged with second-degree murder, malicious wounding, then finally 2 counts of using a firearm in commission of a felony. No bond. He's currently...
Okay, so hit in the torso. He might have shot through the door. I haven't seen this video. He might have shot through the door, or however he shot. I'm okay. For the sake of the man, I'm hoping that second charge, he might have to do something for that. If he is his first offense, he might not get no prison time or nothing, but he probably gonna have to do something, probation, something, parole, something, not parole, but probation, something for that, right? Because if you shot and it grazed him 9 times out of 10, he was running. The other dude might have been in the process of starting to run and got popped, so he wasn't able to. So that he might be okay with that one. I was thinking, nah, he probably just opened the door and just went to blowing and just shot people in the back. Then nah, you going under jail if you did that. But in the torso, he
sitting in Rappahannock Regional
He might not get nothing for that one.
So overall, this is probably the worst possible way this prank could have gone. And look, I talk about how wrong pranks and this content could go here on this channel, but this one went beyond most of the videos I cover. Because at the end of the day, a high school senior is gone, a man's in jail, and the rest of us are now asking, was this a tragic misunderstanding or a predictable result of viral stupidity? Well, let's walk through what happened.
That's
And
why
you can
Johnny
see in
don't do
the
what he
clip,
do.
this
over
wasn't
here,
just
or
ringing
in America.
doorbells. Witnesses say kids were kicking and banging on the door. Loud, aggressive, almost like they were trying to break in. And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier with the altered version of the ding dong ditch prank that's turned into a reckless TikTok trend. Here's myself from the past explaining this. It's called the TikTok door kick challenge. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of like ding dong ditching, as many of us grew up doing, unfortunately, except
I don't think I've
they
ever
got
done that.
creative and they added some property damage into the mix. Because why
I take that back. I've only ever done that to a friend who I was trying to get to come outside. Right? I believe. If I've ever done that, that would have been the only time I've ever done that. Like, I'm about to go outside. I'm trying to go play with such and such. So I'm going to pull up, ring the doorbell, hide behind the bushes, wait for him to walk outside, scare him. Hey, man, let's go play. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. So, you know? But I'm not doing it to be annoying. Like, what? I don't get. Is it the water? Is it in the waters? Maybe it's the water.
not? So it is what it is, I guess. After it gets dark, you run full speed from the street at someone's door and jump kick it. So not only are you damaging the door and the frame, but also waking and scaring the crap out of the people inside. Then on top of that, this is also happening in the US. And because of our Second Amendment, this can quickly become quite the extreme sport for the person doing this challenge. And you don't only have to worry about a potentially armed homeowner, but also the police, because obviously this is illegal. But that's not stopping this trend from being so big and viral that these pranks are now happening all over the US. And depending on what state you're based in, the range of your penalties can really vary here, because some people are getting hit with like a basic criminal mischief charge, and others with breaking and entering, because surprise, surprise, if you kick in someone's door at night, that's a charge. So let's play some of the clips because it's ridiculous.
Was I doing this video without my glasses on?
Yeah. The frame didn't like that one. Okay, so according to the witnesses, that happened. And I unfortunately hinted here on my past video on how this could be a fatal challenge. Unfortunately for the guys who did it, it was. The homeowner didn't think it was funny. He thought it was a robbery. So he did what most people would do here in the US if they thought their house was being broken into. Grab a firearm.
The Spotsylvania County Sheriff's Office said in a press release it was 3 a.m. Saturday morning when they got a call for a burglary in progress where shots were fired. Deputies found 2 people with gunshot wounds on the scene. 18-year-old Michael Bosworth Jr. was transported to a local hospital where he died just hours before his high school prom.
So Michael was hit in the torso. He later died in Mary Washington Hospital. Another teen was grazed and a third got away physically unharmed, but probably scarred for life. And this all happened hours before Bosworth's senior prom. His girlfriend wore his pink bow tie to the dance. That's not something anyone should ever have to do. And like I said, Butler's now sitting in jail, waiting for these charges to process. Overall, it's just an awful situation for everyone involved.
Facts.
Now, you might be asking, isn't Virginia a stand your ground state? Well, not quite. Virginia doesn't have a codified stand your ground law, but it does recognize something similar through what's called a castle doctrine. Basically, if someone breaks into your house and you have reasonable fear for your life, you can stand your ground and essentially eliminate the target. But the key here is you have to have a reasonable fear. But, and that is a big but, that legal protection gets really fuzzy if the threat is outside your home or if the person is retreating when you shoot. Because if Butler fired through the door or after they started running away, that might explain the second-degree charge. So let's break down the charges here. First, the second-degree murder charge here. The penalty in Virginia can be anywhere from like 5 to 40 years in prison, which, I mean, that's a terribly wide range. He also has a malicious wounding charge, which has a potential of 5 to 20 years in prison. And that one also has a mandatory minimum of 5 years in prison if a weapon was used. And finally, he has 2 counts of using a firearm in the commission of a felony. For a first-time offender, that's a 3-year mandatory minimum. And because Butler is charged with 2 counts, that's a minimum of 8 years just for the gun charges. And that has to be served back to back in addition to the sentences for the other felonies.
That's consecutive? I think, personally, 3 of these charges are going to get dropped. And one of them, it might be like a delayed. He could like take a plea or something for one of them. I think the murder is going to get dropped, right? Somehow, some way, that murder is going to get dropped. And one or two of the gun charges will get dropped. He might have to take 2 charges, right? So he might sit for like a year or 2, 3 years maybe. Unless that's the only thing he ever done. If that's the only thing he ever done and he can get a super good lawyer, he could get like a delayed thing. Like if he don't mess up for a certain amount of time, then he good. Which shouldn't be a problem if he was already not messing up, right? So
So the total potential sentence here, if
That's what I
convicted
think
on
he
all
should get.
counts, is a minimum of likely around 13 years and a maximum of
Based on the information that I have received. That's what I think.
65 plus
I ain't
years,
seen no
which is just, it's insane. I mean, that is a hell of a way to ruin your life in 2 seconds for both the shooter, who might spend life in prison, and the kid who lost his. Of course, final sentencing would really depend on plea deals, whether charges are dropped, the trial outcome, and how the judge chooses to structure the sentences. And some people are probably saying, good, well, he ended the life of a kid. Or, well, 18-year-old. But a lot of the internet are actually defending the shooter because he very well might have thought he was being robbed. Yeah. Like, if you're jolted up at 3 a.m. by a loud thud at your front door, you're most likely acting in a daze of flight or flight, and you're not fully awake yet. And then you just have all these, like, unknown details, like, what if he had a few drinks before going to bed, was woken up in a jolt? Like, there's so much that could be there. But, again, as I said, we don't have the full details. Obviously, there's a big difference in firing at your front door thinking you're being broken into versus running after and firing on the people who are already fleeing.
We just trying to figure out which one he did.
Either way, it's just another story of a viral prank and an absolute tragedy. And it's frustrating to see this because I've already covered this trend 6 months ago where I even said, this is going to end horribly wrong. And it did. No matter who's at fault here, you don't kick people's doors in at 3 a.m. Yeah. Actually, you don't kick people's doors in at all.
Period.
Just don't do this trend. It is absolutely not worth the upside because ding-dong ditching apparently just isn't what it used to be. It's not a giggling sprint down the driveway anymore. It's a forceful of drop kicks to the door at 3 a.m. in a country where, you know, being allowed to shoot someone at your door is on a state-by-state basis. This is not a prank. This is how you cut your life short. But unfortunately, I mean, this trend isn't going anywhere because there's more and more of these clips on TikTok going viral.
Check this.
This is so stupid, bro.
And look, I'm obviously trying to be sensitive to this because this is an awful tragedy. It really is. But I'm shocked someone hasn't been shot from this before now. Because look, Michael
Boswell, he wasn't
a hardened criminal. He was a 3-sport athlete, lacrosse, football, wrestling, a senior at Massaponax High School with his whole life ahead of him. His girlfriend of 3 years wore his bow tie to prom. His classmates held a vigil. The entire community is in mourning. But no amount of tragedy erases the reality of what him and his friends did was dangerous. It was reckless. That was a stupid decision that cut his life short. So now we're kind of left in this gray zone, legally and morally. Was Butler's fear justified? If so, the charges may not hold. If not, his life is over, basically. If the teens were already fleeing and if the shooting happened through the door, then we might be looking at a case of excessive force.
How don't we have this information already?
Even if he shot through the door, I mean, there's still room for an argument there, even though that is a terrible judgment. But I mean, it's just such a shitty situation because who is operating at a logical state being jolted up at 3 a.m? So yeah, either way, before you rush to a judgment on either side, understand this is a messy, tragic mix of bad judgment and viral clout chasing. I mean, it should be obvious by now, but please don't jump kick people's doors. We've seen pranksters get punched, arrested, and even shot at before, but now another one has passed away, and this probably won't be the last. Unfortunately, it's sad. This is a tragedy. I guess internet culture has just blurred the line between a joke and a threat, and how consequences of crossing that line are now becoming more and more serious. So, I mean, overall, if you're a teen thinking about trying this kind of thing, please don't. If you're a homeowner, you better know the law before you pull that trigger because both sides can lose everything in seconds. And I guess to everyone else, especially prank creators and IRL streamers, maybe rethink what you do for content. Stay safe, stay smart, and please, let's keep these pranks harmless at least, because I don't think anyone wants the outcome we had in today's video. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Peace. Well, if you're watching the video at this point, I greatly appreciate it. If you have videos that you want to see us react to, please put that in the comments below. Let's enter the Discord. We are Driver Stats, the name of our Discord, link in the description. Once again, today was supposed to be a BeamNG video, and I had it recorded and didn't have the car audio or crashing sounds or nothing. So that's unfortunate, but this is cool too. Degeneracy with A-to-Z. Like I said, rest in peace to that guy. Hopefully I'm on this. Based on the information we got right now, I'm hoping that he didn't just shoot a bunch of people in the back or shoot at them as they were running. Hopefully that wasn't the case, but I don't know. We'll see. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Good night.
Mm-hmm.